Yes, they get 2 days. But spawning in the top left-hand corner of a pylon, we have our American Protoss player, the Red Protoss, currently teamless, deserving to be on a team, and looking to represent his nation. The America's Papi here at DreamHack Dallas. It is Astrea. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the German Zerg player, the Blue Zerg representing Shopify Rebellion. It is Lambo. We go. Here we go. As Lambo does move out. Again, it does thankfully get his natural base on location. Bit of inefficiencies here as he did have to send out a second drone, but regardless, does expand, does settle in. Meanwhile, Astrea just being as annoying as possible, trying to delay. And honestly, this is going to be a close one. Now, what I will say is that I was praising Astrea's PvT earlier, and we even saw Astrea take a map off of Clem for good reason, right? Astrea, he's got some really solid PvT. I would say that PvT is his best matchup. If you recall what I said earlier today regarding Astrea's play, though, is that PvZ does feel like one of his weaker matchups. So we'll see. We'll see how he can compare to Lambo. We'll see if he can tighten up, and we'll see if he can make it through. Part of me does want Astrea to make a deep run in this tournament. Again, Astrea, it's going to be that much more important for him to find support and find a team. He's definitely been improving a lot this year, but can he bring down Lambo? We're here to find out. Personally, I would love to see an ace match, regardless of how this goes the way of Lambo, goes the way of Astrea. Would love to see an ace match at least, but we'll see. But now we're calming down, so far nothing crazy. Oh, also, my apologies, predictions, they should be open. Actually, they would have been closed by now, but get your gambler going while you can. Gamba time. Yes, all the captains in the chat. As we have a Twilight Council opener out of Astrea. Oh my god. Now with a Twilight Council opener, there are a couple of different things this could be. This could be Glaive Depths, just as a straight up opener. Glaive Depths here out of our American Protoss. Otherwise, we could see a DT based opener instead. We'll keep an eye on the gases. We'll see if he does pull out. Does he pull out? Does he stay in? Eyes are on Astrea. There we go. So far, yep, does pull out. So Glaive Adepts from Astrea is going into 4 gate Glaives. Now, as a reminder, this is not null-in. This is not null-in. This is designed to get damage done. This is designed to cripple the Zerg player and then to advance on and transition into a third base, into a longer macro game. So it does pull out of gases. Glaives should be on the horizon. Meanwhile, Lambo for now just droning. Lambo droning, saturating. Lambo, he has yet to confirm what's going on. The Overlord is poised to scout. It does go into the bases. As we mentioned, there's that Glaives. And Lambo, he will find out. He will scout. Lambo, he will confirm. With this, he should be getting an earlier Roach Warren. Yep, does see the gateways. Does see the Twilight Council. So Lambo, he's fully aware. He has the information he needs. Yep, there's that Roach Warren at 3:46. So the Roach Warren is early enough. Prism is on the way. Astrea is moving out. And again, it's going to be on Lambo to minimize losses. It's going to be on Astrea to get as much as he can while expanding back at home. So we go. Lings, they attempt to surround. I save that from Astrea. Doesn't lose any adepts. Doesn't lose any. Moves out. Goes for the massive warp in. We're bringing 4 adepts at a time. Roaches are building up for Lambo. He's ready for this. Again, he saw this well ahead of time. And Astrea doesn't commit. Doesn't commit to the shade. Astrea back at home. He expands. As we mentioned, he's expanding. He's transitioning out of this, or he's trying to. But he needs to find some damage. Gets a queen. Takes down a queen. He will threaten the base. He can maybe catch the first Roach. As the Roach is going to get caught. Not bad. Roach goes down. Going for another queen. Takes down 2. Takes down almost 3 queens. 1 more volley. 1 more shot. Prism into the main, gets deflected. Nice positioning there from Lambo. He was ready. He was ready for the Warp Prism. Adepts, they still need more damage. Astrea jumping into the main, going for the mineral line. Uh-oh. Does drop in. Lings are in position. One Adept is forfeit. And Astrea is forced away. He's forced back at home. He's expanding, building up the Immortals. But Lambo's in a solid position here. He has plenty of roaches. He's droning. Now, unfortunately, he's just now beginning his lair. We could have seen this a little bit earlier, but Lambo was playing safe, so he doesn't really have the potential to counterattack. Unlike the previous game against SOS, here there's no lair, so there's no Overlord speed, there's no Dropper Lords, there's no roach speed either. So this is later for Lambo. So he's stuck at home. He's stuck at home, which means Astrea, he's safe. For now, he's safe to saturate, make Immortals, and at least he preserved the Adepts. Looking at the trades, he only lost 2. Only 2 Adepts went down. But ideally, he still wants some trades out of this. He still wants to get some value out of these Adepts. Astrea does pull away. Does pull out. We have roach speed, +1 range. Lambo's building up. Now, from this moment, we're going to see if Lambo decides to go for 3 base all in. He's droning up here on 3 bases, that is true, and he should be getting a 4th base for at least Larva, but he might cut worker production and just go for an all-in. All-ins are popular on Pylon. Like, Pylon has a short and very direct rush distance by ground, so all-ins are very trendy on this map. Now Lambo, he is droning up somewhat. There's that 4th base. And again, that should be there just at least for Larva. And you can see the supply disparity here. Like, honestly, the Glaive Depths was not good enough. From here, Blink is late. +1 is late. The Bay is late. Like, all the tech here and the 3rd base is all delayed for Astrea. So now is the ideal time to go for an all-in, and here we go. Lambo is moving out. Lambo, he's not droning. He does cut workers at 64. Lambo, he's massing, getting ready to move out. And here we go, he does pull the trigger. Lambo is almost maxed at this point, and this is going to be a tough hold for Astrea. It'll be impressive if he can survive this. He has 4 Immortals, he has Force Fields. Astrea, he's moving out. Now's not the time. Okay, pulls away. Does pull back. He doesn't have shield batteries at the natural. He only has them at the 3rd. Immortals exposed. Gets us around. Massive pick off already. 1 Immortal goes down. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, Astrea out of position. Files on the main army. Oof. Does graze the army. Roaches, they peel up into the mineral line. They're going into the natural. Main army going to be zoned away. Ooh, files are connecting. Astrea, he's holding on, at least against the roaches. Diving on the Ravagers. Bold move. Does blink in. Astrea, he saves the Immortals. Nice juggling. Nice control. Yeah, so far so good. Nice hold position micro as well. Oh my god, saves the Immortals. The juggling. The control, the micro. He's crazy. He's holding. No shot. He's holding on. He gets us around as well. The 4 Immortals, they're immortal. He cleans up the entire army. He shuts down the all-in. Yeah, takes down all the roaches. And there's nothing left. There's nothing here. No shot. He was down, what, like 60 supply? Oh my god. Even with that shield batteries here, I thought the natural mineral line was going to go down, but no, he saves the workers. He does save the probes. Astrea, he breaks out. And Lambo's in trouble. Lambo, he was all in. He was not droning. He was not saturating. He's not set up for a longer game. Hydrogen's on the way. Infestation is on the way. This is all late tech for Lambo. And now is the time for Astrea to counterattack, to at least break the expansion, maybe end the game. At the same time, oh, the wall is open. Oh, never mind. Wall is closed. Astrea can't keep pushing. But the Lings, they do scare him. Yeah, he's trying to keep up with the Lings. He backs off. Lambo buying time. Lambo's droning. Drone up to 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. 69. shown up behind this, making 2 Colossus at a time. Colossus are coming. And Lambo's taking up in towards the Lurkers. Now, there is a window. There's a window in time here where Astrea can strike before Lurker Tech, before Hive Tech Lurkers. Is Astrea going to try and hit that timing, though? For now, he's turtling up back at home, building up more Colossus. He's being more passive, more concerned about expanding and claiming his 4th base. He's building up. Lurkers are on the way. These are going to be Lair Tech Lurkers. Lambo playing safe. And we're getting into a longer game. Okay, we're getting into a longer game state. Lambo's maxing out, so is Astrea. Now, Lambo, he's going to be maxing out with Lurkers. Astrea, he's going to be fixated on a ground-based army with Colossus, with Storm, which is good, but if the Lurker count gets too high, I don't really see Astrea breaking through. We'll see. See if he can break through. Colossus still amassing. Astrea looking to move out. Stargate's on the way. We might be here for a while. we might be here for a while. Stargate's on the way. I'm feeling the fleet beacon. We're getting ready for Skytoss. We're thinking about it. I mean, with Lurker Tech, we have to go into Skytoss, right? Like, at this point, Lurkers are revealed. We're turtling up. This game began with Astrea going into Glaive Adepts and followed up with Lambo going for a 3-way solo in, but now we're getting into a long late game. Let's go. Let's go. We're throwing out a wall of cannons, wall of shield batteries. Astrea, he's turtling up. At the same time, does catch a Lurker. Not bad. Stargate is done. Show us the fleet beacon. There we go. +1 air attack. Fleet beacon's on the way. Now, my big concern here is that this does feel delayed for Astrea. This feels late. This feels late for Astrea when it comes to taking up into Skytoss. Lambo's about to max out on Lurker Tech. Nidus is on the way as well. So I do feel like Lambo has a little momentum here to try to break Astrea before he can really embrace Skytoss. There's a big window. There's a big window here the Lambo can make use of, where you can try to break out before the Skytoss. There we go. Nice into the main. Astrea, does he notice? He's distracted, cleaning up these roaches. Bleed out a High Templar. There we go. He does notice it, but not quite in time. Nidus will complete. There's the recall. Lurkers, they do break out. Nidus does fall. Storm's going to be coming in. The Immortals are ready. The Immortals are low. Ooh, 2 High Templar go down. 3 High Templar. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, rough fight here for Astrea. Bleeds out so much in the process. More Lurkers coming in. And this is getting out of hand. It's getting out of hand. He's going to lose everything here. The Immortals, the Colossus. They get that power of Nidus Swarm Lurkers. Colossus, oh god, they're filing in. Oh god, it's not pretty. Gonna lose more Colossus. These are expensive losses. GG gets called. The Nidus Lurker does end the game, and Lambo takes game number 1. Whew, GG. As sometimes that's all it takes. We spoke about that window in time where Nidus Lurker can straight up kill Astrea, and unfortunately Astrea, he was late to react, late to respond, late to realize what was happening until it was too late. By the time he warped in to defend, the Lurkers, the Nidus did finish, and Lurkers got in. Lurkers, they got in. We saw that Astrea, by trickling in his army, if he had everything together, he probably could have dealt with that, but he was only fighting with a portion of his army at a time, and he just couldn't bring it all together. GG. GG, well played. With that, Lambo does take game number 1, but a very intense, very back and forth game, and honestly, I could have seen that going either way. Could have gone either way here. Both players had their moments. Both players had their time there. But now we're getting into game 2. Game 2 is going to be on ley line. It's going to be on ley lines. Let's go. Here we go. Was Reina versus Hero streamed anywhere? That was streamed. I was a little bit of it was streamed here, but it was on the mainstream. It was on the mainstream. But here we go, spawning in the top right hand corner here of ley lines. We have the American Protoss player, the Red Protoss, down in this series. We'll see if he can bounce back. We'll see if he can recover and force the ace match. It is Astrea. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the German Zerg player, the blue Zerg representing Shopify Rebellion. It is Lambo. Here we go. As Lambo, he was able to recover after the failed all-in, able to bounce back, pull off the night display, pull off the lurkers. Again, Astrea just had an awkward kind of tech setup to try to get into Skytoss because he didn't open Stargate. That's why the Stargate was much later, and the tech switch as well, if he were to get there. Unfortunately, just late reaction to the Nidus was late. And here we go. Here we go. Hatch gas pool. Standard opener here out of Lambo. Nidus equals win. It can. It definitely can. It just depends on what kind of setup you have back at home. Like, again, with Astrea's recall, he recalled like a portion of his army, so he was fighting with like only like a third of his army at a time. Like, it was just a really messy defense there from Astrea. But yeah, Nidus Lurker can end the game. It happens in ZBT as well. I'm sure you're aware of this. If you watch Rogue's matches in Star Zagora, or even more recently, Rogue, his win condition is Nidus into the main base of the Terran, and if you get the Nidus up, you can win the game. So it is an aspect of certain matchups, for sure. So now we are building up. So far, nothing crazy. And I would hope to see Astrea go for a standard opener. There we go. Stargate open out of Astrea. As a reminder, last game, Astrea did open up Glaive Adepts. And as a reminder, this is why the defense of Astrea was so impressive, because his Glaive Adept opener didn't do any damage. He caught 2 queens, he caught 1 roach, and maybe like 1 drone. Like he barely got any damage with his adepts. He was so vulnerable to the all-in of Lambo, which is why it should have killed Astrea, but it didn't, which was crazy. It didn't. Astrea, he survived from there. I assumed that he was going to counterattack immediately and try to punish Lambo, but instead we ended up in a longer game state, which allowed Lambo to get into lurker tech, of course. But it's still very intense. From here, Stargate into Oracle, and we'll see where Astrea takes us. Here we go. Overlord goes in for the scouts. Lambo, he confirms the standard opener of Astrea this time, thankfully. At the same time, Lambo is setting up for a Ling run by at the third to try to force a cancel or catch any stray units. Adept is in position. Lings, they don't quite get this around. Not on the Adept, but they do on the base itself. Oracle races back and Astrea holds. Astrea, he does hold, he does defend. Astrea building up. Lambo back at home, he's droning. And from here, we are waiting for our tech of choice, waiting for the Twilight Council and the Forge. There we go. Twilight Council is on the way. Gateways as well. And we should be working towards Blink. This is where Lambo can afford to skip roaches. He can go into Ling Hydra. Oh, never mind. 430. This is a very safe roach horn timing. Lambo playing a little bit scared. So 430 roach horn. Lings they poke in. I don't see a forge, by the way. Interesting. Twilight Council is done. It is still going to be blink and a delayed forge. Okay. So early blink, delayed forge here by Astrea. Oracle moves out. What else move out? Just get some scouting information. Just pokes in, scouts. Oh, looks like we have a bit of a pause. Hopefully everything's okay. Bearing in mind that, of course, they're playing an offline event, and sometimes some things can pop up. It's all good. But so far, everything's been pretty standard, outside of the fact that we're going for a later +1. Oh.
Game resumed.
Players are ready. Meanwhile, Lambo going into his own Evo chamber. We'll see if he goes for range or melee. I would imagine he'd skip roach speed and go into melee, but we'll see. Evo chamber is done. Yep, Hydrogen is on the way. We should be seeing melee alongside this. Lambo is building up. Oh, never mind. Rushing to the infestation bit. Okay. Lambo being quite greedy here tech-wise. Does rush in. With this, his goal here is to rush into Hive Tech. Into Lurkers. Oh boy. So Lurkers are on the horizon. I mean, we saw how well Lambo did with him last game. Doing it again. Well, does go down. Supply blocking Lambo. Supply blocked. Black was straight. He does get across the map. Remember, blink is done early. Trying to force a cancel. Toss back in. Lings, they get spotted. There's a lot of Lings out on the map. Oh, Stasis is baited. Astrea falling back. Hive is on the way. Lurker Den as well. And again, Lambo, he's rushing into insanely fast Lurkers here. And an insanely fast Hive at 7 minutes. Astrea has to punish this. Remember, there's no upgrades. We're preserving the gas. All the gas is being invested here into Hydras, into Hive, into Lurkers. Just a really fast timing. Oh, that's a cancel here on the base. Astrea falling back home. Now getting to Storm. Not Colossus this time. Going into Storm instead. Has plenty of High Templar. And here comes the Prism. Now, Astrea, he can hit before Lurker Tech. Lurker Den is still on the way. Hive is still on the way. And Astrea, I believe he should be pushing here with Storm instead. A very close, very crisp timing here for Astrea. He has to go here and now to break Lambo. Before the Lunkers. He's moving in. Prism is still on the way though. So no reinforcements. Stasis goes off on the Lings. High Templar somewhat exposed. They have to pull away. Lurker Den is done. Ooh, does recall back. I feel like this is a bit of a misread. He does recall, which means Lambo, he can morph in the Lurkers. He can morph them in. Fleet Beacon's on the way, second Stargate's on the way. Astrea working towards Skytos, but here come the Lunkers. 7R morphing in alongside +1 range. Again, just really early Lurker tech. And Lambo, he got away with it. He did get away with it. Lambo trying to be active. Astrea, he's somewhat moving out, but only posturing. And Astrea has no intention to really commit. Lurkers are revealed. And we still have 10, jeez, 10 lurkers here for Lambo. And he's going for it. He's going for the kill. The goal here is to wedge himself in between the bases. Trying to get on top of the High Templar. He does collapse in. He gets, oh, barely gets one. Does force in the Archon. The Archon is morphing. Lurkers, they do burrow in between the bases. Immortal goes down. And he's going for the kill move. Contamination on the Robo. Lings, they bust in. And Astrea, he can't push in. What can he do? He just cannot touch this army. Not anymore. Lambo, he just got away with so much greed. And Astrea, he's just looked out of his own bases. At the same time, Zelarambai is getting some damage done. 12 drones going down across the map. Tempest is on the way. I mean, drones are falling. The Zealots are getting a lot of damage. But that Stargate is exposed. Hydra's moving in. Zealots is still wreaking havoc. Catching out more workers. From here, yeah, the Stargate should be sniped. The Zealots are being cleaned up. They did get an expansion. They did get a couple of drones, but this is still not enough. Or at least it shouldn't be. Tempest is revealed. Stargate's going down. Oh, God. Again, Astrea, this army's just locked down. He can't do anything with it. Now he's going for the kill. Going for the main. And he will barely snipe the High Templar. Please out all the Hydras though. Uh-oh. Hydras, they do go down. Reinforcements have arrived. And you can see that Lambo, he just has a free way into the main. Lurkers, they just protect him. I say that. Another Tempest has arrived. Lambo, he did lose a lot of drones. Was what it was, 23 drones going down. Oh, the recall, let's go. Recalls the main army over. And Astrea, he can shut this down. Now he has the mothership. Now he has an attempted flank. Oh. Slow zone on the lurkers. We need some storms though. Without storms, he cannot quite engage. There goes storm coming in. Yeah, storms on the lurkers. But lurkers are still pushing forward. They're getting into the mineral line. Probes are going down. Astrea, he blinks into the lurkers. And he will clean this up. Just barely. Whew. And Astrea, can he pull this off? We gotta go. We gotta go. we can't wait. Send it back. Keep going. Cleans up the up. Again, such patient play. The recall here did allow him to flank. Did allow him to surround. And back at home, Lambo, he's down to 66 workers. Doesn't really have much of an economy. Lambo, he has 2 lurkers on the way. How many storms? 7. 7 High Templar. That's a lot of High Templar. That's a lot of potential storm. Straight at the same time, mothership on the right hand side. I believe recall should be on cooldown. Yeah, recall is about to be available in a couple of seconds. Does get a couple of workers. Astrea looking to move in. Recall is now available, but now there are Hydras in position. Astrea, he cannot recall in. Here come those 7 High Templar. Storm has arrived. Once again, mothership goes for the mineral line. Do we recall? Not quite. Mothership's turned away. Astrea stabilizing. Building in more Archons, more Tempests, more Immortals. Lambo likewise stabilizing as well. But Lambo's drone kind of still know what it needs to be. As the train moves down. Heads towards the bases. Storm does zone. Expansion falls. Lambo is maxing out on Hydro Lurker Viper. He now has a better answer. He's built back up. Oh my god, Brutal Storm. Storms they pop up. Lambo going for a split push. The mothership is still trapped in between the bases. Nice feedback here on the first Viper. And Astrea, he's somewhat in position. Force a recall. Recalls the mothership, actually. Okay. Interesting. So let's recall the mothership. We're in a really awkward position here. We can't surround. Storm popping up. Massive storms. Feedback on the Vipers. It's just a really awkward setup here. Who surrounds who? As Lambo is getting caught out. Where's detection? No detection with the army. Oracles are on the way. Wait, do we just have no detection, period? Okay, there's observers. Just 5 observers. Observers are moving in. The observer has arrived. Oh, observer gets sniped. Oh god, no detection. Free damage. Getting 1, 2 immortals. Observer's now moving in. Just a really messy couple of moments here for both players. We're getting messy. We're not Ronaldinho, baby. As Astrea has a bank, Lambo does not. Astrea rebuilding his fleet beacon. Workers moving in. Astrea claiming another base. I'll say that Lambo, he's struggling a little bit more here. He just doesn't really have a bank to work with. These have been expensive losses, especially losing all the Vipers. It's been very expensive. And he's stuck on Hydro Lurker Viper. Meanwhile, Astrea rebuilding more Sky Toss. Or at least he's looking to. Fleet Beacon is now done. So we go. The game is slowing down. I'll say that Astrea is getting into a more superior army. At a certain point, Lambo is going to need to Spire. He's going to need a Spire and has to work towards Corruptors. Going for the Nidus instead. Hey, we saw this in game 1. Can pull off the Nidus play. It is possible. But notice the Skytress army gets larger, though. So we're building on more Tempest. Here, the expansion goes down. West Lurker's getting caught out. Astrea better engagements on both sides. Nice feedback here on the Queens. And throughout all this, more Tempest production. More Tempest on the way. They are backing up. Lurkers are falling. Astrea moving in. Decent storms. Nice abduction. Getting 1, getting 2 Tempests. Somewhat 2 Tempests. Force a recall. Has to get the hell out of here. Does recall across the map. Does pull away, losing another Tempest. Lambo just sending it with Mass Hydra. Oh my god. He has to be careful about the storms. Has to respect them. Overload is shut down. No Nidus. At least not in the main. Yes, Lambo does push through, takes out the center expansion. There's not that many storms left, at least not with the main army. There's 8 High Templar. We need more storms coming in. Their storm does zone. Nidus behind the army. Most of the High Templar, they're across the map. A bold counterattack here by Astrea. Oof. Losing another Tempest. Rotates over. Lurkers, they escape. top left is going to go down. Actually, Astrea take down 2 bases. Not bad. At the same time, he also loses 2 as well, though. So he has to pull away. Oh, please not the High Templar. Loses every High Templar. And suddenly, oh god. Even without Storm, the Hydras on their own, they just melt. So Astrea, he just lost 2 expansions. Likewise, so did Lambo. Trading 2 for 2. Nice into the main. Astrea, does he notice this time? It doesn't look like he does. Nidus, it's gonna finish. Uh-oh. But this time there's Tempest. Yeah. This time there's Tempest, there's Sky Toss. Nidus is manageable. Nidus rooms are going down. Now we get the Spire, but this Spire it's so late. It's such a late Spire here from Lambo. He was hoping he could end the game earlier, but you can see Lambo can't max out. Lambo, he's broke. He's broke. He lost 2 bases. He's long distance mining. He needs an expansion. He needs money. And Astrea has a bank. Lambo just being as annoying as possible. Killing some probes. Got 5 probes going down. Astrea, he needs to flex his army. But his army is split. He is split. Let's go. Now, meanwhile, behind this, even though Lambo is not maxed out, he does have a massive amount of infestors and Neural. So technically, he can use his opponent's supply. So Fungal Neural is still a way out of this for Lambo, and it's still a way for him to engage with the Sky Toss. So Lambo can still take a fight, even though he's down in supply. There's still a chance, especially considering that Astrea's army is split up. Meanwhile, once again, the space is going to go down. Brutal Storm. Storm on the Hydras. Astrea, can he get out of here? Oh. Nice abduction. Astrea does pull away, takes down the expansion, takes down 7 drones. Spire is now done. We have +1 air attack on the way. Lambo, he's slowly maxing out. He's getting there. He was able to get a base. Lambo, he has mining. I do think that Astrea could have been a little bit more assertive here to try to fight for this base or some of these expansions. He's at least rotating to the center. Gets an Archon. Does take down an Archon. We have how many Tempests? We have 6. 6. Oh, the Infestors! Oh my god! Yeah, 2 Infestors going down. Lambo caught with his fans down. Another Infestor falls. These are expensive losses. That should not have happened. And over as well. That was how many? 4. That was 4 Infestors. Ay, ay, ay. So I'll say push on the right-hand side. They do break through. Nice run by here by Astrea. Gets into the mineral line. Drones are going down. He just backs up. He just backs up with a High Templar. Nice run by. Oh my god, getting 27, 28. The most important base here for Lambo. He's not mining. Lambo, he was broke to begin with. Now down to 37 drones. Down to 37. Now re-droning. Tempest, they can punish this position, and they should. they just one-shot drones. The 5 workers going down. Lambo, look after your lungs, look after your infestors. Take care, Bobby, take care. Hydras are moving in. Ooh, they take a storm to the face. Astrea is holding on. Bit of mismovement here as 2 lurkers get thrown away. This is still an uphill battle here for Lambo. It has been for the past 10 minutes. Nice kill, nice snipe. Like Astrea just has had the more efficient army and the better saturation, better bank. Lambo's just been keeping his head above water. And there's still a chance for him, but we can't afford too many mistakes. Astrea's coming. Let's move to the south side. Lambo does run up back up again. Going into Broodlords. Okay, Broodlord Infestor is taking up. It's getting up to 5 Broodlords and only a couple of Corruptors. 4. And again, it's one of those things where Astrea, unfortunately, doesn't really know how far ahead he is and how far ahead he has been. But Astrea, he has a bank, and ideally you want to leverage that. Like Astrea, because of his bank, he can afford to poke in, trade, pick off bases, be a little bit more assertive here than he has been. And he may end up losing a couple units here and there, but ideally he trades, and ideally he can afford the losses, and Lambo can't. Unfortunately, he just doesn't know that Lambo has no bank. Lambo's been broke for a long time. So Astrea's just been very, very tentative about committing. And it's allowed Lambo to stay in this game and to recover and to still have a chance. Like this could have been done earlier, for example, but the base is going down. This is coming in. Oh! Does get a fungal. No follow-up. And the follow-up is not there. Broodlords are revealed. Like Astrea's just been very careful about pushing in. Meanwhile, we'll see what does he have to worry about. There's 2 Vipers, 5 Infestors. Of course, there's always potential for fungal growths and for abductions. A massive push here towards upside. Does force a recall. Skytusk is left behind. And they're in position for the Broodlords. Uh-oh. Yeah, Lambo doesn't know. Oof. Broodlord goes down. Astrea doesn't chase. Oh, does find the Infestors. He gets 1. Gets 1, gets 2. 2 more Infestors go down. Yeah, Lambo, he has to rebuild. He's been bleeding out a lot of his Infestors. And the only way he can engage, Lambo I mean, is with the fungal, with neurals. With his spellcasters. Astrea still setting up. Oh. Reload's going down, sniping 2 more. A decent fungal on the main army. Doesn't quite commit yet, but does catch out the Archons, not bad. And going for the power bomb as well. Falling back to the shield batteries. Nice engage out of Lambo. A nice start. Setting up, going for the expansion. Storm's gonna be coming in. But Lurker's a force their way forward. Grubs is going for the dive. He wants his Tempest. He gets 1. Takes out a Tempest. And can he get another expansion? The fungals are good, but again, there's still no real follow-up here. Does abduct 1. Bottom right, it does go down. Now taking down center right as well. But Lambo is pushing far. He's pushing a little bit too far out. It does feel like he's pushing too far. He's committing. It's all or nothing. Does commit in. Going for the dive. Do we have any more storms? And there's 1 more storm. But GG gets called. Lambo, that's all he had. That's all he had. Just 1 final fight. And Astrea, he has a massive bank. He can take those losses, and Astrea will tie up the series 1-1. Whew. GG. We are going to the ace match. We're going to the ace match. Towards the end there, I was like, yo, Lambo, we're overextending here. We're pushing out too far. He knew it. He was just going for 1 final fight, 1 final push. Again, it was an uphill battle for so long there. GG. GG, well played. With that, whew, we're getting into the ace match. Let's go. We're getting into the ace match, getting into game 3, and we'll see how this story ends. We'll see how the story ends. We'll see if we get up in another late game. Do we slow the game down again? I'm most curious by the map. Are we going to load into a smaller map, a larger map? Where are we headed? Speaking of, we're going to be loading into Ultra Love. Ooh, a map of extremes. Okay. Ultra Love has a short rush distance by ground. Fun fact, what is very popular, what is very trendy on Ultra Love? Roach Queen all-ins, German taxis. Speaking of, we have the originator himself right here. We have the cab driver. But German taxis are very popular here on Ultra Love. The rush distance by ground is very short. All-ins are more prevalent on this map. But I did mention that this is a map of extremes. We either see early game all-ins, or if we can get up to 4 bases, we can slow the game down and cut the map in half. But here we go. We're getting into the ace match and spawning in the right-hand corner here of Ultra Love. We have the German Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Shopify Rebellion. It is Lambo. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the blue Protoss player, with the American Protoss, tying up the series and bringing us here to that ace match. It is Astrea. Here we go. Whew. Here we go. So we're calming down, getting into game 3. And again, Astrea's been playing well for himself, even in game 1. Game 1, like, Astrea had his own lead, his own advantages as well. But it does feel like he hasn't been too confident against Lambo. We need to give him some confidence, Pappy. Astrea, you got this. Bring it home, Pappy, bring it home. We are coming down. And again, welcome on to Ultra Love. We did mention earlier the rush distance by ground, referring specifically here to the time it takes to get from third base to third base. Not just that, but we also have this area in between the third, the fourth, and the natural that is very abusable. You can wedge yourself in between the bases here and force yourself into the natural or into the third, depending on wherever there is less defense. So we have seen a lot of all-ins here on Ultra Love. Likewise, as we mentioned before, if we can get up to a 4-base setup, then you can cut the map in half. There are a lot of little choke points here, like these bridges, for example. These bridges are very narrow. Likewise, there are plenty of ramps here towards the left-hand side, even towards the right-hand side as well. And as a result, we have seen many players cut the map in half, set up, and wall up. Here we go. But now, Stargate Opener. Stargate Opener out of Astrea. Bearing in mind that Astrea did open up Glaive Adepts in Game 1. Here, Stargate Opener instead. Standard Opener. Let's go. Here we go. As last game, Astrea did go for a relatively safe opener. He went Stargate into a faster blink timing into later +1. It was last game where Lambo was rushing into fast lurkers. And he almost ended the game. If you recall, it feels like it happened like hours ago. But last game, Lambo rushing into lurkers, getting across the map. It was Astrea that was able to surround and eventually break out of that and get away with the sky toss. It was very intense and really patient play out of Astrea. But if you recall, it all began with Lambo wedging himself into and pushing into the natural and killing the natural as well. Like, it was insane damage that Lambo achieved. We'll let him shade in. They get 3 drones. Not a bad trade. Catching out 3 workers. Lings, they poke in. Oracle's in position. They poke away. Meanwhile, a bit of an earlier Twilight Council here from Astrea. Of course, that is a Twilight Council after the 3rd base. We are expecting Blink, but we'll see if a Forge gets thrown down. And how many gateways there are as well. As extra gateways are on the way. Is going to be an Evo Chamber out of Lambo. This is the first sign of Ling Hydra. The first sign of +1 melee. Astrea, he does pick up a drone. Gets a worker. There's a melee upgrade, as we mentioned. Going into Banelings, we are skipping Roaches. Let's go. So Lambo skipping Roaches, going into Ling Bane, going into Ling Bane Hydra. Now, as a reminder, last game, Lambo, he cut so many corners rushing into a fast infestation pit. He was getting a hive at 7 minutes. It was crazy. This time, that's not the case. This time, we're investing in upgrades, and we're getting into the mid-game. From here, getting to Ling Hydra, getting to 4-base saturation. That's what this is leading into. Straight back at home. Getting to his upgrades, +1, blink. Does poke out. Technically, this could be Ling into Spire into hidden Mutatech, but I don't really think that Lambo is that kind of player to mix things up too much. If you were casting Shin or Solar, then sure. Would consider it. Meanwhile, that's a lot of Lings. That's a lot of Lings for Lambo. 14 more Lings on the way. He should have enough to be safe. As Lambo is supply blocked. Ooh, 6 Overlords in production. Brutal supply block. Another Overlord going to be going down. Supply block does intensify. Getting another Overlord. Okay, Lambo got 6 on the way. Harnessing his inner laser. Yeah, we love your laser. Every time. As Lambo is droning, taking him in Hydras. We did mention that +1 melee typically leads into Ling Hydra. There was the option for Muta play, but not this time. Lings, they committed to the Oracles though. Yeah, the Oracles, they go ham, but the Stalkers are still going down. Nice around. A very nice catch. Taking down every single Stalker. The Oracles, they were not good enough. And that was how many? That was 8 Stalkers going down. Very nice catch. Trading minerals for gas. Does trade efficiently. Behind this, saturating on 4 bases. Now getting a 5th. Droning up. From here, we should be seeing an infestation pit in towards Hive Tech and Lurker Tech. Assuming that Lambo keeps taking. Lings, they hit a force to cancel. Not bad. Does cancel the base. More Lings, they do hit the 3rd. Storm not yet done. And Lambo, he might just double down. He's on 82 workers. He's massing up Ling Hydra. And Astrea, he's struggling. Oof. Oracle goes down. There's no further attack. We have a load speed on the way. That's going to be for Dropper Lords. Yeah, Lambo's going for the kill. He's going for the throat. He does have a lot of momentum. Now, Storm is going to be a big deciding factor. How good are the Storms going to be? There's just so much Ling Bane, though. Even with good Storms, we can't sit around. Bane's speed is done. Yeah, Ling Bane collapsing in. Astrea, he cannot save this. The base is denied. And again, Lambo's not taking. There's no Hive, there's no Infestation, there's no Lurkers. It's just purely mass Ling Bane Hydra. Meanwhile, there are no Archons. Just relying on Storm. Ooh, Zelda get caught out. Massive catch. And the charge also the solo set cleaned up. Storm coming in. Not bad. Does land a Storm. Lambo still just massing Ling Bane. Still standing it. Decent Storms. But again, the army of Astrea is just still so fragile. The Immortal's out of position. Does recall. Zelda get across the map. The slow lot run by. Let's go. Forces back some of the army. More Zelda are arriving. Astrea forcing back Lambo, buying time. Getting breathing room. Not bad. He does pull away. And he's forced attack. There we go. Lambo's forced attack up. Infestation pits, into Hive, into Lurkers. So, very nice Zealot run by. And now Astrea can expand. Or at least he can attempt to. And now he's got Archons. Now he has a buffer for his army. Archons are not amazing against Hydras, but they're amazing against Ling Bane. They're here to protect. Oh. Knocks down the tower. Astrea, he needs a fourth. He needs an expansion. After they knock down the rocks. Astrea now claiming that fourth. And here comes a Fleet Beacon working towards Sky Toss. But Astrea, he's not there yet. Lambo setting up for a surround. Oof. Decent Storms. Yeah, Storms, they pop up. And there's still more left over. Astrea, he holds. Nice Storms. Astrea, he's holding on. Likewise, Hive on the way for Lambo. Both players are taking up. Sky Toss for Astrea. And Lurkers for Lambo. Ooh. And again, Lambo, he did well for himself, but I do think it took a little bit too long for Lambo to attack. It did take a long time. Hydras are cleaned up. Lambo, he's lost that edge. Here we go, 9 Lurkers on the way. That's a lot of Lunkers. So he's like, catch some high tempo, not bad. They want to get 2. Twice tempo going down. Ooh, Lurkers in position. Astrea, he cannot push into this. It's too late. It's too late to push in. He's rotating over towards the right-hand side. Lurkers out of position. Uh-oh. You know, runs into more Lurkers. Astrea trying to move in. Lurkers are ready. Astrea is not getting to Tempest, just the mothership. Only the mothership. Meanwhile, more Lurkers are building up. Lambo, he has the advantage. There we go. Now we have the Tempest on the way, but this is late. Tempest, second Stargate. Lambo still has the advantage, at least until Tempest mass up. Until then, lurkers, they reign supreme. Astrea, he needs that sky toss. Lambo runs into Storm. Running into Storms, trying to force his way through the bridge. Storm grazes the army. Better Storm towards the end. Are we coming for the concave? Lambo should not be here. Massive Storm. Immortals, they push in. Lurkers are going to be going down. Another lurker falls. A lot of losses here for Lambo. Lambo, he plummets in supply. This was not it. We spoke about those choke points at the start of the game. How brutal it can be to break through these bridges. That was how many? That was 11 lurkers going down. That was insane. Lambo, he lost most of his army there. We spoke about how it is easier to cut this map in half once you get up to 4 bases, and that's what's happening. We're getting up to 4 bases. Like you cannot pass. Not through this. Not if your opponent's on the other side. Well, if Astrea is waiting. Same with these choke points as well, these ramps. Like, you cannot push up these ramps. Not into a concave. Lambo, we gotta calm down. Opening up the ramp, okay. Making it more accessible. There's no lurkers to defend. There's no lurkers here. I mean, again, Lambo, he lost most of his lurkers earlier. Astrea moving in. Lambo, he has to react. He has to respond. Nidus into the main. Uh-oh. And Astrea, he does recall. Does recall back home. We've seen what Nidus scrims can do in this series already. Astrea, he backs off. He plays it safe. Nice Nidus. Oh, sorry, nice stasis. I do think that Astrea could have actually broken this expansion, but he backs off, plays it safe, calms down. That's Lambo racing back. Skytoss is building up more Immortals, more Tempest. Astrea refining his army, getting to the ideal. Oh. And you can see how momentum has swung from one player to the other. Now Lambo's on the back foot. Alas, now there's Tempest, now there's Immortals, now there's a backbone to the army. Now it isn't just Storm, not like earlier. Every time. The weather on this side is terrible. It depends. Some nice, ASMR rain sounds. Some people, they like the storm. Lambo, he likes it. As Lambo, he is taking up. He's taking out of this into the Spire, into Corruptors. But you can see that he's just pinned back in his own bases. There's no creep. There's no creep out on the map. Lambo, he does try to break out. Coming in from behind. Uh-oh. Astrea, we're gonna have to recall. Yes, round comes in. Astrea caught with only half his army. Massive pickoffs. Had Templar go down. Astrea, he will lose this. And he will not escape. And the Tempest falls as well. Brutal loss here for Astrea. At the same time, does trade out a base, or does go for the base. Does go for the mineral line. Doesn't quite get too much though. Yeah, he gets 2 drones. He won't get the base, won't get the expansion. And again, Astrea did overextend. More Tempest going to be falling. More Tempest going down. Without Sky Toss, the Mass Lurker can break through. Yeah, Lambo's going for it. He's going for it. There's only 2 Tempests left. Oof. Yeah, Astrea, he cannot engage. Not like this. Yeah, Storm's the only zone And Corruptors are in the main. They're in the main ways that just came to the production going for the Stargates. Stargates are going down. Lambo is going for the kill. It's going for the throat. Astrea trying to go for a counterattack, trying to go for a base trade. Taking down mineral lines, taking down bases. But Astrea, he cannot touch this position. There's just too many lurkers. Yeah, the lunkers are here. Oh, the Corruptors are thrown away. Yeah, the Corruptors, they are thrown away. They do go down. There's still how many Tempests? Still 2. 2 Tempests left over. Top left did fall. As Lambo is just going further into the bases. Takes down the natural. But he doesn't keep pushing. He gets out of here. Does pull away. And Astrea, what's left over? 1 Stargate. What? 1 Stargate survived. He can rebuild 1 Tempest at a time. And Astrea, what's important? He has a bank. Astrea, he has a bank. And Lambo, he's broke. He's broke, he has no money. Like, that was meant to end the game. That was meant to end the game then and there for Lambo. And he has nothing left. The drone count is not what it needs to be. The bases are not there. It was all or nothing for Lambo. And Astrea, as long as he can remax, he should be fine. The production is hurting him, right? The lack of production means that he can't really rebuild too quickly. But once he does, he'll lose another base. Another base goes down. We're just trying to rebuild those Stargates here at the 3rd. Astrea pulling back. Lurker on by on the way. Lambo, he knows he has to do something about the economy, but he just cannot. Lurkers are getting caught out. There's no escaping. And there's a revelation. 3 lurkers fall. And Astrea, he's done it. At this point, he has done it. There is still an army remaining, but Lambo, he just has so much to achieve with this. It's too much. It's too much Skytos. Too much Protoss. Now moving in. Does get himself with some of the production. Brutal Storm. Oh my god. He stands in the storms. Yeah, the storms are insane. The Hydras, they stand in them. Lurkers moving in, and again, this is just the last attack here for Lambo. The last Hail Mary push. Takes down the Robos. Denies any immortal production. Astrea, he cannot counterattack. But what about the Tempest? Tempest, they just get free damage. Yeah, they're just going for the Lurkers. Lurkers are going down one after the other. Expensive losses here for Lambo. GG gets called, and Astrea, he does it. He breaks through, and Astrea will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the next round. GG. GG, well played. Astrea, he does claim the series. He does advance on. Lambo is out of DreamHack Dallas. That was an elimination match. That was the last chance for both players. It was one or the other. In the end, Lambo is out, and Astrea continues his tournament run. GG. GG, well played. Oh. As Astrea, he does take it. Whew, very intense series. Very intense, papi. Aye, aye, aye. GG, well played. Congratulations. And where exactly are we? And let's see if we can catch up on the bracket. What has been going on? I'm sure we have plenty of updates. Okay, that was a long series. That was a long series. Let us switch our things over. !B in the chat to have a look back at yourself.